went in to see a doctor for some remedy, and he talked me into surgery, which I find that is pretty common with that type of pain, but he found a disc much higher than the low back, and when he took that out, he nicked my spinal cord. So 18 years ago, that put me in a chair.
Buddy and I were heading into town. He was driving, and I was a passenger in the vehicle. He took a corner too fast. We rolled the car, hit a big oak tree, didn't want to move, so it crashed down on the top of the car, crashed down and pinched my neck and caused me to have a spinal cord injury.
I cannot move my legs, my stomach is, I can't sit up. What's going on?
The nurse called me, and the doctor had already left the hospital, and Dave was still unconscious in recovery. It was real scary.
For about 4 years, I was angry, and I was hurt, and I was depressed, and I was, I never had suicidal thoughts, that wasn't it, but I thought about ways I could hammer this guy, you know, just because he didn't need to do that to me. He could have sent me to somebody else to do it, and I would have been walking now today. But I don't harbor any anger anymore, not with that guy.
You know, I can remember when I was in the hospital, one of the teachers came in and visited me, and they really didn't expect me to come back to the high school. And I was like, well, where else would I go, you know? People have asked me if I feel bad or if I'm angry at him, and you know, I'm not. I don't have any resentment towards him. It was an accident. It's not like he meant to do it. So it's just something that happened.
Dave, after he got out of the hospital, he kept saying, I'm going to walk. I'm not going to play tennis until I can do it standing up. And, you know, you realize after a point that that's not really going to happen. But he didn't want to play in a chair. But he met Jim Ilg, who is one of the therapists through Salem Hospital, is how they met. And Jim encouraged him and encouraged him and encouraged him and finally drug him out on a court. And he has been so influential.
I spoke to him about tennis, and he asked me to come over here and work with him. And
I don't want to play Jim. I think it would be way too easy. I literally told him that to his face. What an idiot. You know, I'm thinking that way too easy. Like to him, like here he is playing, and I'm saying, no, you're playing an easy sport, Jim.
So I came out.
We started to play, me in this chair, which is not a wheelchair for tennis, but it's the first one I had, and I started playing in it. Literally the first 6 months, I kid you not, more balls actually hit me than I hit over the net. I was having recurring dreams of me running across court and slapping a forehand winner down the line. You know what I mean? Those dreams where oh man, it's a great dream. But for us, like for Jonah, when you're able-bodied, you wake up and that's a great feeling, right? It was for me for about 15 seconds, and then I would realize I'm in the chair. I can't run across that court anymore. And it was sad for me. It was sad.
I think one of the biggest compliments that I've gotten so many times, and it's an unspoken compliment, is, you know, I've gotten with friends and we're in a car, and they go to walk away, and they're like, oh, I forgot, I gotta get your chair, because they just forget that I'm in a chair. And, you know, it's like, I don't forget, but at the same time, it's like, it doesn't define who I am.
He has worked so hard to get where he is today. And 13 surgeries, spinal surgeries later, every one of them puts him back to a position where he has to start over again. And I hate that for him. All I can do is be there, make him laugh once in a while, and love him every day. Strongest person I know.
Dave's a very, very, very social individual. And I think prior to tennis, I would kind of speculate that he didn't have that outlet. He didn't have a way to socialize and to interact. And I think by getting into tennis, it allowed him to meet people and start interacting again.
I've been able to surround myself at these tournaments with people that are much better than I am, much more amazing. I'm hoping that as I get older, I'll be more like they are, you know.
Tennis helped him realize that he is an individual outside of being in a chair. And he still has tons to contribute to people.
You can be depressed, I understand that. You can be hurt, I understand that too, because that's natural. But there's more to your life than that. If you go out and get out of your shell and out of that funk and you seek to be happier, you will be. You will be. If you've got family that sticks with you, they love you for who you are. So try to cultivate that. Get out and do some exercise. That really helps with your train of thought. It gives you a little bit to look forward to every day. And just be with people, buddy. Be with people.